Hi, we are back again with the fourth episode of Amazing Leadership Style of Dr. Satish Modh in Ek Boond Soch Ki Tea Talk Train of and Thought. We have seen an earlier episode about the challenges in childhood and in the academic, and then brief about his public sector leadership style, where it functions in terms of an corporate training, corporate strategy, and in terms of a transformation group which is there. And also in earlier episode, we have seen about as an author, a total shift from public sector to getting into writing was an amazing. And then again, also we have seen in some of our books, Discover Arjuna and You, and Triguna Test, which is there. And now we are there with Dr. Satish Modh just to know more in terms of an education which are concerned. Sir, we have seen you have been there in Vivekananda for almost 8 years, and the big transformation to what we have seen in education as far as the management institute which is concerned, total 360 degree shift what I could see. Now when we talk in terms of as a leader, in as for the education which are concerned, what are the things which I think you might have done in terms of transforming the education which is concerned as far as the B school which is concerned?
When I joined Narsimhanji Institute of Management Studies as a professor of strategy, and within 3 months they made me associate dean, I was a very raw person in the field of education management. Though I was a faculty and teaching ethics and strategy to management students, but this is a kind of mercenary job that you go to the class, deliver your subjects and go home. You are not at all involved in how the institution is functioning. And luckily I was associated with either IIT Bombay or Bajaj or Narsimhanji, which had a very good academic management style and their own culture. So 3 years was in Narsimhanji was a learning period for me, where I was part of the academic council. I was part of various bodies which were involved in education management, and I would say that those 3 years actually taught me how to manage an institution of higher learning. So after 3 years, when trustees from Vivekananda Education Societies approached me that why don't you join us, our management institute. Initially I was reluctant, because working in an institute like NMIMS, which is among the top 10 in the country, and it's a well established institution, to go and accept a challenge of going into an institution where they are unable to fill their seats. But I said, so what? Why not? Whatever I have learned, if I cannot implement it on the ground, then it is only hearsay. Whatever I will say that I can do this, I can do that, has no value. So I joined Vivekananda Education Society Institute of Management. Some of those people who used to come and meet me at NMIMS, when they came and met me there and saw the institute and the way the whole environment was, they said, sir, I think for the first time in your life you have taken a very wrong decision of shifting from NMIMS to this Vivekananda Education Society. I said, I have come here with a purpose. You meet me after 3 years and let us see. So I had a kind of inkling that what I need to do to make that institute strong. So first thing I realized that when students come to institute, they are looking for some student experience. They are there in a management institute for 2 years, and which is a life-changing experience for those management students, because that is where after that they go to a career in management, and all the time that is their last stage of education. So those 2 years should give them good memories of the institution, good memories of interacting with each other, good memories of faculty. So I said the first thing I should do is management institute should be like a temple of learning. So I talked to management and said that let us first convert this management institute from a typical management institute to a temple of learning, and it should be very clean and presentable, and also it should be a kind of corporate environment, because from here they are shifting to a corporate environment. So if this management institute does not have that kind of corporate environment, it looks like a typical college, then the transformation is difficult. And luckily for me, management agreed to spend a lot of money. And from ground floor to fifth floor, which was the 5-floor building, many walls were demolished, and management institute, from the workflow basis, we designed each and every floor. And in 1.5 years time, the infrastructure was very well developed. We designed our own benches. Everything was designed as a greenfield institution. Those, of course, students who were there at that time, they were watching all this transformation taking place. Alumni, which is a very strong base of the institute, they used to come and see what is happening, and they were saying, "Sir, what you are trying to do is amazing, but really whether it will happen." I said, "You come after 3 years and we will see what happens." Then along with infrastructure, I said we have to give focus on academics. So we set up board of studies, and we tied up with SAS, which is one of the best company in the field of business analytics, and we designed a full PGDM program around business analytics in 2014-15, which was very, very early years for people to talk about business analytics. But we converted all our PGDM into a business analytics program. Those who were taking pure analytics or financial analytics, marketing analytics, HR analytics, supply chain analytics. So we converted this general marketing, finance, HR and operations subjects to analytics subject. And the support from SAS was amazing. And within 2 years, we started getting best of students. We had to spend a lot of money to get the SAS software in the institution, but again, management was supportive. And the academics was getting transformed, the student experience was getting transformed. Then simultaneously, I realized that if the faculty is not able to deliver in a very interesting way the courses in the classroom, then this infrastructure and this will be of no use, because they are going, even there is a one faculty which is not good, they are all going to remember after 10 years is that faculty, and they will make fun of that faculty rather than everything good that happened in the institution. So I started focusing on the quality of the faculty. Many of the faculties, I gave them tasks that, okay, you must do that. If you cannot cope up with this, then better you leave the organization. So many of them voluntarily resigned, and we kept on recruiting new faculties. And when I had joined that institute, there were only 2 or 3 faculties with PhD. Today we have more than 98% faculties with PhD. There were hardly any publications by our faculty. Today we publish more than 20 to 30 papers in Scopus and Web of Science indexed journals. Our faculties have gone abroad. Almost every faculty has gone abroad. We supported them financially so that they can go abroad and they can see those institutions, how they function, and they can use some of those techniques in their teaching. So the teaching learning process and infrastructure and curriculum, these 3 pillars became the basic block of learning within the organization. And then we started focusing on various students' bodies, because just classroom learning is not sufficient. So we have nearly turned what they call the flip classroom. So we have converted our college into a flip classroom, that the learning in the classroom, there is only discussion about the subject most of the time, and actual learning takes place outside the classroom through various projects and initiatives and summer internship, live projects. So by the time they actually go out of the institution, they are finished product, they are ready to work in the corporate. Then another aspect which I realized, that we have to sensitize these future decision makers and leaders of the society about suffering of people and how they must contribute towards building the society. So we started Yuva for Seva program right from 2014-15. And for 3 weeks, every student of the institute goes in some NGOs and work full-time there for 3 weeks across the country. And they live with them, they understand what kind of sufferings people go through and how they can help. So actually, when they actually go out of the institution, they have a good understanding of their domain knowledge. They have seen the human part side of the suffering, so they are sensitized towards the need of the society, and they are also able to earn a good living and have a good family life. So and there are so many other initiatives which we took, and the result of that was visible. Last 4 years we have been coming into top 100 institutions in NIRF ranking, and we have been given various awards. Our faculties have won many research awards. Many faculties have published the book. And one more thing is that we also went for NBA accreditation and NAC accreditation. 6 years back, the moment I started transforming all these areas, I said that it has to be accredited with some body, otherwise whatever we are doing, there is no way of measuring it how well we have done it. So we went for NBA accreditation. In the first accreditation we got something like near to 700 scores, and in second accreditation we crossed 750 scores, which is so we got autonomy. So that also gives that a confidence that our direction is good, because those who come for NBA accreditation, they come from IIMs or BHU or some good prestigious institutions. So it is not that you give self-certificate that I have done this and I have done this. Whatever you are doing, it has to be assessed by your fraternity, and only then you know that what you are doing is right. They give very good suggestions of improvement and teaching learning process, how to measure them. So all this has gone into in last 7 years into creating a institution, a higher institution of learning in the field of management. And I am sure those who have passed out in last 7 years of this institution would have appreciated this, because this must have been reflected in the way they have built their career. Now the big 4 of finance firms and top Fortune 500 companies, they come to our institution to recruit. And I would say that I am still not very happy. We have to go miles to make it one of the top management institutes. My thinking is that it should be ranked among top 50. But once we reach a plateau of this level, then each and every step makes you have to work very, very hard, much harder than what we have done so far. And I am sure that all the faculties and non-teaching staff, we all have this vision of making it into a top 50 institution in the country, and we will be able to do that. At the same time, we also wanted to benchmark our institution with international standards. So we have become member of AACSB, and we are now benchmarking ourselves with AACSB accredited institutions, and very shortly we may go for AACSB accreditation as well.
Amazing, sir. That reminds me about a dialogue from Chak De India. जो नहीं हो सकता वही तो करना है. And what Dr. Satish Modh had done after coming from Narsim Monje, the way he had transformed this institute in span of an 8 year is an amazing leadership style. I think it's both intelligence and the emotional quotient, which he understands the psychology of a person and take everyone together with him. I think at the initial phase, he started with the infra. That was the first part, I think, what he had initiated. And then I think today what we see within the education society and the initiatives which are taken under his leadership is amazing. And also, sir, we have seen there is a lot of an MOU which you have signed with the different universities abroad,
Yeah, because we have to get exposure to international standards of education. So when we started interacting with foreign institutions, we realized that they have some good courses to offer where our students can go and learn. There could be a good student exchange program, there could be good faculty exchange program. So we have signed numerous MOUs, and many of those MOUs are active. Unfortunately, still we have not reached a stage where foreign students come and study and take some summer courses here. But our students are going to Europe and America to take some summer courses, or maybe one full semester or one full year for learning. But we have to keep on moving. Once AACSB accreditation will start, maybe there will be more international students And the new education policy also would give us a lot of scope for improvement. Currently, we are limited by the constraints of government policy. So as those constraints go away and there's a desire to keep on improving, I am sure that now we have reached somewhere. Now if we are there in top 100 of NIRF ranking consistently, so that has given us confidence that we are moving in the right direction. Now we have to continue to make steps in the right direction without stopping anywhere and just basking in our own glory that we have done that. What has been done is gone. Now we have to look at every day what we can do new tomorrow.
I think, as Satish said, where there is a will, there is a way. We could see the transformation in the education which are concerned. So always at every step, we have got some leadership challenges which are there. Maybe I think 6 years back, the teaching was different. But after Corona, a couple of years have thrown many challenges for every one of us in an education. Once we have shifted to the virtual classroom, right? So I would like to know from you, what will be the impact of a virtual classroom as far as the corporate which are concerned?
While building the infrastructure, we had already created setup where faculties based in foreign countries could deliver lectures to our students in our classroom. So actually when pandemic started and there was a need for virtual classroom, our infrastructure, IT infrastructure was ready. So we simply within a week, we switched over all our classes to Google Classroom. We used the Google platform and we already had a tie-up with Google in that respect. So only thing we had to enhance the capacity of more classroom, and we did that. And all our faculties were trained earlier itself. They had taken lectures in a virtual mode earlier also. So the transition was very smooth and student experience didn't suffer, of course. Coming together and discussing together in a heated environment, in an academic environment in the classroom. But somehow we have been able to recreate some part of it in the virtual classroom. So as far as our institute is concerned, except the physical closeness and the friendship which people have for their life is missing in this virtual classroom. But I am sure the students, young students, they will find their own way of connecting with each other and create their own network. But we have also shared this with other institutions within the trust and others. And I am sure most of the good institutions have been able to deal with this pandemic. And what I see is the future of the classroom is going to be hybrid classroom. And some student who is not able to come to the institute for some reason, that student is not going to miss the classes, because most of the classes now are going to be recorded and they will be available for reference for the students in future. So in a way, the pandemic has forced us to move in this towards this hybrid platform. And this is going to be the future of education, where whether you are in the classroom or whether you are not in the classroom, you won't miss what is going on in the classroom.
I think that's what leadership there does, like they anticipate the future well in advance. As rightly, I think since the time Dr. Satish Modh took over Business School and the 360-degree transformation, what we are seeing, it shows in terms of an amazing leadership what Dr. Satish Modh is all about. Thank you very much for being part of this wonderful session.